Greetings, everyone. I'm glad to see you. My today's talk will be not about details, not about some processes, pipelines, how to build them, how to write code, and so on. It will be more about philosophy, about the attitude to each other, and as we can see here, I want to draw the line between DevOps and development, software development department, and then erase this line. And I want to warn you that in this particular presentation I'm going to use the word DevOps, meaning the guys that work on infrastructure. It's some kind of rebranded system administrator, like major one, not the concept of DevOps for now. So, my name is Sergey. I'm working in an Intexsys company for 8 years. My team is called South Park, and I am there officially a team architect. There are my links. You can find me, reach, and we can discuss things if you want. As far as I'm developing the solutions for multiple projects, I usually face situations when different departments talk completely different language, and they don't understand each other, and that actually from time to time leads to bad consequences. When something is done, the money were spent on something, but it was not actually required initially. So it inspired me to make this talk and to share with you how we in Intexsys and our big clients, how we resolve the issue between of communication between DevOps and software development. And I want to add that this is about not about very big company when you have tons of developers and tons of system administrators or DevOps guys. It's about like having, for example, 100 developers, and for 100 developers we have something around 8 DevOps, 8 guys who does the infrastructure and resolve all problems connected with infrastructure. So it's about this scale, not bigger and not smaller.
I can't stand down. What that picture was about?
It's about the dark background and nice title, and that's all. I saw this title somewhere. I don't remember. So I'm going to go through agenda. Today I will talk. My talk will be separated into 3 topics. They maybe not topics, chapters or parts. The first part will be about what was before in our company. It doesn't mean it should be in other companies, but we faced this situation. So I will talk about past situation. I will talk about what happened, what changed our situation, what changed the process of the work, the process of communication, and so on. And finally, we will meet the results. We will go through cool things that we gained after we shifted this approach and executed. So, deprecated approach is the approach that is deprecated, totally deprecated, and we will not return to this. First disadvantage of having separation between DevOps and software development is a gray area of responsibility. visualize it like this. And just try to imagine this situation when you have some development team that created some kind of project, and it is based on some distributed database, and everything works fine, but after some time their project starts to work very slow, and questions, we ask them questions, we have questions, they appear. And the first question appeared to developers. So if you build this project, you should answer why this project is so slow, what is wrong with the code, what mistakes were done. And the same goes to DevOps usually, to this department that works on infrastructure. And question is actually the same, so why you didn't prevent this situation from happening? And answers are very similar. So from DevOps perspective, it sounds like the main part is we did what we were asked to. So no questions more, we are clean, and so on. So DevOps answers pretty same. Answer is pretty same. They will start to tell you about their approaches, about used patterns, about the culture of development, like DDD, and about test, and so on. So finally, it will somewhere you will hear the phrase, "It's not our concern." So DevOps should deal with it. And what is the problem of this situation that we faced is that everyone takes defending position. Basically, it happens when you know that you could have done something better, but you haven't. And you don't want to say it to your boss, to your management. You just say that I'm not the one to blame, and ask them. And this is basically a dead end, because the only last option that the only option that we have in this situation is to hope that the situation will not appear anymore, but probably it will. The next item is about development scope, about developers. When developers work on some project, they try to do whatever they can to make it beautiful, to make it scalable, maybe in the terms of classes, in terms of entities, something like that. But usually they don't think about stuff like network latency. They don't think about how many cores they need to run their workers, or how much RAM they need for their application to work efficiently. Yeah. So I have a little example of this problem. Let's imagine we need to build some job, some script that will run and process a lot of records, take them from database, do some cool work with them, and then run again. So development team creates the script. The script uses around 6 gigabytes of RAM and takes about 12 hours. And it works. Yeah, so they used patterns, they used a lot of fancy stuff. And DevOps get a ticket to create a server. They add some 2 gigabytes of RAM. They start the server, run Puppet or something like that. And the question, what can go wrong here?
Network latency, first of all.
What?
Network latency, first of all, between database and app center.
Yeah.
Different zones.
Exactly. So you are probably DevOps, right? Yeah. So exactly. Mr. Boss decides that we need to revise our resources to investigate utilization of resources, and your job, your beautiful script is analyzed by the main guy, the boss guy, and he figures out that it can take 5 minutes and just moving the application to the same data center where your database is located. And in addition, as a bonus, we can remove ORM approach from your script and gain pretty cool result with memory consumption. And the result is bad for us. It is bad for the company, but especially bad for employees, because for company perspective, they spend hardware resources for nothing. Total cost of the job, of the single job that processes do some simple thing actually becomes very high because of multiple things, right? So we all spent the time for this investigation. We paid for instances in AWS or Azure, and the most expensive one is that our boss was involved. He spent or she spent time on this investigation. This costs money, and for employees, it's also a very bad situation because they lose their professional reputation. The reputation went down, go down, and this is bad. We can like suffer from it, not getting promotion, for example. Yeah. The third point is about infrastructure problem. I don't know about you guys, but I faced it many times when developers, people say that it is infrastructure problem because I couldn't find the solution or couldn't find the bug in my code because my code is perfect, because I'm perfect. Yeah. You can. What?
That's true.
We can hear such phrases. Yeah. So last deployment was months ago, so nothing was deployed. Everything is cool. It works locally. It's classic. Yeah. Elasticsearch is awesome. It should work. It can't be that Elasticsearch doesn't work. Infrastructure problem. So please deal with that. So reason can be wrong execution environment, for example. It's one of the possible reasons on code side. So developer and other developer, they went and tested their functionality on their development environment, especially if we are talking about PHP world, about Symfony world. There are multiple environments, and you can load this file, and get absolutely different results. So the environment, code environment inside the code, like this concept can cause the error, and you will think that I'm clean, everything is cool with my code. Talk with DevOps. Yeah. So the next topic here is about business understanding. About business goal understanding from DevOps side. As far as DevOps are not involved, usually in our company it was like that. I'm not talking about all companies. I can talk about only my experience. DevOps are not involved into business-related meetings. And they don't actually know why this Elasticsearch cluster is required for, or why we have separate databases for separate applications. They just get some tickets, some requests, and they apply manifest, they write pull requests, and create new servers, and provide these servers to developers. So it's actually very bad because this stuff leads us to a station when they want to help For example, during holiday season, something breaks and DevOps go to some instance and make some changes and understands that he should do some critical, make some critical decision. And he makes it without understanding of what specific area of your product will be affected. And this is quite understandable because they are not involved in business-related meetings or discussions or prioritization meetings and so on. So that leads us to weak communication, usually created in created tickets. So, for example, I'm wondering how something works, and I create a ticket for some guy to investigate it. This guy is not available, he asks another guy to take a look, and so on, so on, so on. And we got a ticket ping pong, yeah? And the most hilarious, from my point of view, situation when you automatically someday will answer your own question, because this sequence of tickets will come to you as an email, and you will just automatically answer and keep waiting answer for your question, initial question. So it's bad. Weak communication is very bad, and we should widen the channels of communication with DevOps. We, by we, I mean software development. Dependencies. Dependencies between DevOps and software development. So we can't, business can't predict if, plan their work if they can't rely on some estimates. And if you don't know when this DevOps will be free, well, when tickets, they will not have enough critical tickets and they will be available for your team, for your development team, but on other side they don't know what they are going to do in what projects. This leads us to unpredictable estimates, and this is really, really bad. This should not be like that. We should have a possibility to blend our work together. Yeah, and one last item here is talking different languages. People think that there is a sales department, for example, big department, and there is an IT department. An IT department is split into DevOps, for example, and development. And they are both IT departments, so they should understand each other, but basically they probably don't. And I can illustrate it with a real-life example. Software development needs a server, and DevOps or DO answers what requirements do you have, and we say, good one, because no one needs a bad one. And yeah, and you can think that the next question can be like, what CPU amount do you need, what RAM, what data center, and so on, like that, yeah? But it's not. The answer is, okay.
The answer is PHP. Question is PHP, yes?
Yeah, it's about PHP. PHP world, or actually whatever. Maybe PHP, maybe something different. It doesn't matter here. And we answer things because we have server, we asked a good one. We can additionally ask, is it a good one, really? And then thanks. So then, after some time, the priority of this project is higher than it was before, and we return to the server and it's not working. We report that it's not working. And we really, this is not a joke, we got this answer. We really got this answer. So, and I understand them. I understand them. I am a developer, and I understand totally the DevOps, because they are so tired of this eternal backlog of critical tickets. Every ticket is critical. They cannot work actually, and this is the nice answer, because if you ask stupid question, you should get stupid answer. It's like, it should be like that. So I understand that in this particular deprecated approach. Thanks. And game changer. So in our company, there was a moment when the situation started to change. And I want to share with you from what it started and what action items or what was done to develop this culture of working together. We had a task. Yeah, we are working with PHP, and we needed to upgrade 25 or something like that instances to the latest version of PHP. It's like, seems like easy task. You just go update some Puppet stuff and everything is ready. But we had a lot of additional dependencies. We should not have any downtime. No public IPs, because for email marketing, public IPs is reputation of public IPs is very important, so no new IPs. We need to change our operational system. We need to migrate from MongoDB to CassandraDB. We need to reset up Postfix from scratch and upgrade RabbitMQ. We should get some performance boost and puppetize it, because nothing was puppetized in correct way, using correct Puppet, and so on. So after that, we estimated this task about like 8 to 10 days of development and like 4 to 6 months of infrastructure changes, because like it could be like 4 to 10, yeah, because we can't predict this time allocation for DevOps. And probably it took 2 weeks. And that's how we approached this task, and what was the initial trigger for these changes. A new colleague joined our DevOps department. He's from a different country. We cannot communicate personally, we communicate using different approaches, but the new thing that he has done is he showed his initiative. He wanted to help us in this migration process. And because he's a new one, he wants to prove that the money he gets is okay. Yeah, and he offered help. And when he offered help, we spent about maybe full working day and half of night discussing the details of our architecture approach in this project, and responsibilities of different pieces of code, and how services are connected, and what service does what, and why we choose this approach, who was the stakeholder of this, who asked to implement it in this way, and why we have some limitations. Yeah. We started to pair programming or pair infrastructure using multiple screen sharing by FRIN, because it's very easy. It's like so easy. It cannot be easier. So, but you have the main functionality. You have multiple screen sharing. You have, if you have in your working place, you have 2 monitors. You know, you work here, and you have here like three persons sharing their screen, and this is very awesome when you when you resolve some problem. This is very cool from 3 countries. Yeah, so this is very important. Very yeah, this is very important for me because he has the will to continue explaining me some simple things, and he did it a lot of times. He explained a lot of stuff until I started to get them, and this is very useful for myself and for further development of this whole thing too. One of the characteristics, he started to take the full responsibility for the end result, not for this particular server or this particular pipeline, but for end result. So, like in our case, it was customers should get emails in appropriate time, like 1.5 million emails should be sent within 20 minutes. And the deliverability person should be 99%. Yeah. So, and this was the goal that he was feeling that he is responsible for. This is very, very cool from my perspective. And we started to force him to, from our side, we started to force him to join our mostly business-related meetings, where we discussed the potential ways of improving our product. And he became a part of our development team. Not officially, but he is the part of our team, as well as his colleague who joined a little bit later, but he is working with our development team as well. So initiative, specific knowledge, communication, knowledge sharing, being professional, involvement. These are need to have keywords when you think about such stuff. And now I want to say about the developer perspective. So what we've done to help this process to go forward. We started to learn basic things for DevOps, like what is infrastructure as code concept, what is Ansible, what is Puppet, how they differ. We use, in our company, we use Puppet and Chief. Chief for one office, Puppet for 2 other offices, and we don't use Ansible, but we had to migrate from Ansible a few servers. So we did it together, and I learned some basic concepts that I haven't, that I didn't know before, and I forced my team to learn these concepts, to talk one and the same language. We started to read Munian graphs, so this is very boring for DevOps, yeah, because they do it every day, but this is very important for developers, because if you want to be close to the concept of professional, you need to do this. You need to know what is what, and how you can judge your application is okay, feeling okay or not. We investigated a lot of time on discussing network issues, how haproxy works, what is VIP, what is IPsec. It's very important for a developer to know, because it will help to communicate with DevOps. Yeah, I personally forced DevOps to share their knowledge with me, because I just like new knowledge, I like new things, so that's why only because of that. And this is a very important point. When something works now, and it works after 6 months, it works after a year, just go to your DevOps and say thanks, because probably he is the professional if it still works. And the same, like if something is happening, why to not to ask how can I help? I can go there and see there and like combine it together and present it to you, just for you to not to spend your time on little things when we have a serious problem. So this is, from my perspective, this is very important. Yeah, so I prefer to join their meetings. Their meetings was DevOps meeting. Was quite close one. Yeah, there were only DevOps team, maybe data team from time to time, and I just joined there. I just had a discussion with the person who is the manager. I just joined and started to understand what they are thinking about, what they are concerns, how they are tired. Yeah, so it helps. And of course, invite your DevOps into your project planning, kickoff meetings if you have ones, grooming meetings. They will help to find a better approach, maybe tell that this is more complicated than you imagine, or opposite. And results and benefits after all this process. A little bit about results. So immediate reaction. This is more important for actual business. When you have a problem, you want to have an immediate result, immediate reaction. You don't want to create blockers. You don't want to search for Slack channels or Skype chats or call someone. You just want that everyone would be so involved that he or she would notice it too, right? And we have real life example from our product owner. He will not agree that he said it, but I remember. He said, like in some chat, that we have a problem with this blah blah blah. He got an answer that, correct, we had already resolved RAM issues, nothing affected, and so on. And developers said, yeah, I'm deploying some tests to prevent this situation from happening in the future. And he said, thanks guys, you're awesome. So it means something when our product owner tells such words. So this is cool, this is immediate reaction on a problem. Developers' maturity. When you shift to working together, to sharing the knowledge, when you discuss things not inside your working hours, maybe you have some parties and you just talk with people, with DevOps, you talk about wide range of things, and after some time, developers start to think not only about code, they start to think about where this code will be executed, what complications or what limits do I have? Should I use architecture for scaling, or should I build a monolithic solution that will work fine and will cost a little bit like so much money and will give so much money to the company at the end? Yeah. So it forces developer to think not only about refactoring patterns and things like that. In our company, in our team, we all help DevOps with the simple part of work, like writing manifests. It is very simple task for programmer, because he understands that this is the code that will be executed, that will do something, produce something. So we do that, and our cycle time of the DevOps tickets, like DevOps best software development tickets that we do together is like, it's very, very short, like maybe 30 minutes, maybe 1 hour, because when ticket is passed to DevOps, he already have the manifest and pull request, and he needs to just test and so on. Yeah, so this is interesting topic for me, the one with green text there. Ability to make assumptions and theories outside your code. We had a migration to AWS from data center located in Norfolk, in America, in Chicago, and in Illinois. And we faced that our workers, that our infrastructure that is built for sending emails started to fail. We saw the errors, we tried to debug them, and one developer just assumed that it can be related to DNS, to some resolving problems. And this assumption was tested, was checked, and this was the problem because we had a lot of traffic. Like one server resolved a lot of host names, a lot of stuff, and we saved about a week and a half just with developers' assumption about infrastructure. So that was awesome. That what I call maturity, maybe. Yeah. Business DevOps. Basically, what I was going to say here that having no middleman between departments is very great. So business can talk with DevOps, DevOps can talk with business, and they can resolve some questions that are not related to programmers, because like this is completely different questions. And this is very good because when the DevOps team is involved into all the meetings, all discussions, they know exactly what to talk about and what to ask about. And if a product owner comes and asks, like, I don't know, something that is not related with network or CPU or Kubernetes and so on, DevOps guy can translate it and answer in the same language because he knows what product owner is talking about. So this is the benefit too. And the team. So I would like to hear and to see the first one, and I would not like to see and hear the second one. So this is the concept of the team, that we are not working on servers and they are not working on building some code, but we all are working on building this product. And this concept of having the team working inside the team is very important for me, and I truly believe that every DevOps guy will feel better if he is the part of a team with all the respect and so on. Helping each other. So if helping each other is the default for you, then you will probably have less problems potentially. So you will not have to resolve some problems because helping each other helps to prevent these problems from happening and on the initial earlier stage. So when you are thinking about how to build your MySQL database, what entities to choose, what relations to choose, talk with DevOps. Maybe he has a completely different perspective, and he can observe this information completely different, and can improve your project and improve your final here, as an example, software development needs a MySQL server. So they estimate that they will need about 30 gigabytes. And this is the way how it was. So in our company, the request was sent to DevOps. They got some approval, and they created some MySQL database with 40 gigabytes just in case. And sounds like, okay, cool, we needed server, we got server, and everything is fine. But now we shifted. Now we have this plan. Every discussion about something new starts with what is failover plan, what is the main goal, what is the benefit of creating this and this, and what is the backup policy for this project. And at the end, we get some MySQL cluster with master-to-master replication or something similar, with adjusted monitoring and query alerts. So for me, it's important. Planning, I will go briefly. When you invite DevOps to your planning meetings, you can't have real estimates. You will not have deadline breaks. So you will never break deadline if you can collect and process and analyze all the information that you need. Predictable development process. Yeah, this is the point that will make your business happy. So, yeah, this is the basically the last part here. I want to say a bit about DevOps Days. This conference is really awesome. I didn't know about the DevOps world before I was, like almost before I visited this DevOps Days conference, and I got deep inspiration with this culture of DevOps, of working together as a single team. And they helped us, personally me, to continue development of this working together culture. And no videos. As a summary, be initiative. If you're initiative, you will definitely will produce value for your company. Increase your knowledge base. Always increase your knowledge base. It's not only about technologies or learning something. It's about knowledge base inside this particular company, because if you know a lot of things more than others, then you will stay in this company, and this company will appreciate it. Focus on the product, not responsibilities. So don't try to find who to blame. You have product. Do whatever you need to do whatever you can do to make this product earn money. Improve communication among departments. Try to talk with people. Try to be nice, to ask questions, to help each other. Share knowledge and work as a single team. So, thank you.
There is a little something for you, souvenir. Hope you like Star Wars. Who has questions?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Before you answer any questions, you started a talk with some statement that the stuff you will be talking about isn't really the DevOps philosophy and so on, and you have your setup in your company. And you've been using word DevOps quite a lot, like in every second sentence. Could you please remind what that DevOps philosophy is?
I was talking, I said that I refer to DevOps in this particular talk to simplify the attitude to the people who do infrastructure and separate them from development side, to later erase this line and understand that it should be together. they should work together. I just wanted to point out that many people they think that DevOps is really rebranded system administrators, and from time to time they act like this. They don't want to be involved in some processes. They don't want to share some knowledge. They just say, I fixed it. Thank you. Something like this. Yeah. So I wanted to just make this line what I mean by DevOps in this.
So improve collaboration. Sorry for bad question. So is everyone who is called DevOps, I'm afraid engineer, now is going to development teams and discussing with them stuff? Everyone, are they doing it?
I said that this is okay, this approach will work for middle-sized companies. It will not work on a larger scale. You should transform this approach to be able to use it on larger scale. The same goes for, the same goes for smaller companies. When you have one person, it doesn't make sense to improve communication with yourself. Yeah. So.
Just all your story seems very familiar from several my experience, but I got also to 90% of developers doesn't know how computer works. They don't know what is interrupts, what is this, what is network router, and why it's main evil in every modern system and stuff like that. They don't know it. But that 90% of developers doesn't know that, that's okay. But I have faced another issue. 90% of those developers which doesn't know didn't want to know. And that's
this is the problem.
Developer with your attitude, that's okay, but they have faced this several times.
I haven't said that I had something about the same attitude that you are talking about. It switched. I don't know how it happened, but it switched.
But if 90% of developers doesn't want to know how computer works,
yeah, there are not so many things that you can do, but you can at least try.
okay.
But here is all developers, and is anybody know how computer works?
What do you
I
mean
heard-
by works?
I heard that there is a button.
Okay.
I don't know for sure, but
So what I was wondering, what are your thoughts on what would be the next steps for you and your company? Are you going to continue blurring that
I'm
line?
going to vacation next week, so
Okay, awesome.
I can't answer. I'm right now in a phase when I'm enjoying this work. Yep.
You mentioned an issue with a dictionary, with software developers and DevOps.
Yeah.
So,
Language dictionary.
in your opinion, what would be the result or the perfect condition where these teams will understand each other?
And there will be no blockers.
PHP DevOps.
I don't know. But if you have some problems, you should find the difference between these problems and split them to categories and then resolve one by one. If you have the communication problem, if you have the problem of not understanding each other, it should be one of the categories that you should resolve, and you should measure it somehow.
That's the point.
Yeah, but it disappears actually. When you start working together, this line disappears.
Okay, thanks.
All right, it seems that we have no more questions. Thank you very much.